to Piers book on Uncensored. Pearl Davis has racked up a legion of online followers and plenty of breathless newspaper coverage by sharing her incendiary views on modern feminism. The New York Post called her the female Andrew Tate, so she tapped into genuine female pushback to the excesses of wokery, or is she just an attention seeker? We'll find out in a moment. But first, let's take a look at the clip that sent her viral.
A lot of people think I'm insane because I don't think women should vote. Everybody thinks I'm crazy for this opinion. If anything, this is probably my most extreme opinion. 90% of women have been on birth control. 1 out of 3 women has had an abortion. 1 out of 3 women has an STD. Average body count is over 5, so your average wife has slept with over 5 people. 95% of women are not virgins on their wedding days. So I understand the complaint.
I have to say, this lady's, she's smart for saying that. Women don't do very well with power, as we can see, more power, more freedom. Next thing you know, they're whores out here, and, the stats show it. If those stats are true, then, that's it right there, Why should they have this power, Let them be home, serving their husband, being traditional wives, man. It's a lot better, It was working before. Now, do you think this is working? Are those stats making you proud, happy? No, man, they don't. So, what can I say? Do women have business like, voting and doing all this stuff? Maybe not. That's the truth, straight up. So, let's continue watching.
Okay, well, Pearl joins me now alongside political journalist Ava Santini, who was nodding furiously along there to everything she heard. Right, Pearl, you'd be called the female Andrew Tate. How do you plead?
Well, I take it as a compliment. I'm a fan of Andrew Tate.
Of everything he says?
It depends what we're talking about, but overall I think he's got a good message. I think he's good for young men.
Okay, look, you're talking about women predominantly.
Okay, Andrew Tate, we know he's promoting guys to be strong, right? Telling guys to be healthy, work out, go to the gym, all this stuff. Great. I like that too. He's standing up for things that a lot of men should be standing up for, like the pandemic, he was against it, LGBTQ community, a lot of stuff. He's just making sense, in the crazy world, he's a voice that makes sense on a lot of topics. So that's great, right? But again, she's careful to answer yes, she agrees with everything he says, because I think why she said that is because he has some kind of a twisted version on some things, like Islam, and also about his past or even his present human trafficking charges and all that. So, but let's continue watching what goes on. All right.
This is why you've got this big following. And your view is that modern feminism is deeply flawed. I would argue a lot of your proposals, like taking the vote away from women, are deeply regressive. Why would you want to remove just from yourself the right to vote?
Well, what happened was I had the same view, right? Back when I started, I was like, why? I found out that only 5% of women wanted the right to vote. And I couldn't figure out, why would women not? No, it's true. It's true.
At the time.
At the time.
Because they've been conditioned by men to think that they shouldn't have a vote.
That's what they say, but, I started reading their writings, right? And what I found out was...
By the way, that's very interesting. I don't think women originally ever wanted to be playing this masculine role. They were happy being housewives. If I was a girl, I would be happy to be a housewife, I don't know why you have to be around going out, trying to act like a powerful man, opinionated, having an impactful role in a company, all this stuff. Why, Or you can just make a sandwich for your husband and be happy, It's like, I don't get it. But, so I see why women didn't even want to vote. What's the point in that, So, anyway, let's continue watching.
Was that the reason a lot of women advocated for it was because they believed it was the beginning of the breakdown of the family. Before you became one in marriage, 85% of people were married. And, I hate to say it, but they were right. What has happened 100 years later?
What's that got to do with them having the vote?
Exactly.
Well, it also goes back to responsibility. Again, men are 80 to 90% of the military. They run all of the infrastructures that make society run. So I just think if we...
Good job, man. Men don't get appreciated for anything, you know? Or, you know, hardly... I can't say anything, never, but it's like... Men don't really... There's no International Men's Day, right? You know? Women have a Women's Day internationally, so we have to appreciate women, which I have no problem with that, but, you know, who's appreciating men, you know? It's like, if you're living in the western part of the world, men are just like nothing, worthless. That's the mindset out here this side of the world, you know? So, you know, maybe we should start appreciating men some more.
Want an equal say in society, then be equal. Do 50% of the hard jobs. Be 50% of the military. In the U.S., they're fined $250,000 if they don't join selective service, which is essentially the trap.
Okay, but specifically on the vote, what would having the right to vote have to do with family cohesion, for example?
Well, because again, before you weren't trying to divide a family. It was one family unit. You had one vote for the family. I mean, I don't think it's good for a family to have two votes.
Ava, your mouth seems to have dropped.
I know.
Yeah, this lady, she's supposed to be a feminist, I think, and she doesn't know what to say. This is like, you know, messing with her brain.
Galaxy brain. I feel like, you know, the stats that you're putting down are perhaps correct in some universe.
Which stats?
They just kind of don't really add up. I mean, just to take you back to the women's writings that you've allegedly read. I mean,
allegedly? What do you mean allegedly?
At the time,
That's like disrespectful right there. That's like you've allegedly read. Like, I can't trust anything you say, you know. At least have some respect for her. No matter if you disagree or not, you should show some respect for the opinion. This is my problem too. Like, the side that does not agree with the left, with the crazy leftist, if you disagree, then your opinion is not even respected. You know, that's what she's also doing to her, disrespecting her different viewpoint. It's ridiculous, but anyway, she did it in her face, so let's see.
time that you're talking about, you know, women weren't really allowed to write. They weren't allowed to go to school.
Yes, they were.
Write.
Yes, they
so
were. That's incorrect. The first female
about?
property owner was in the 1600s. The idea that women couldn't work and couldn't.
I'm so sorry, but that will be inherited
The first female millionaire was in the late 1800s.
And was that inherited?
No, it wasn't. It was self-made. Yes, it was.
Self-made.
Yes, it
and
was. She did not inherit it.
You see, this woman's mindset is of like a victim mindset. You know, it's quite common that you try to make it that women are victims and blame all the problems on men, you know. But like according to Pearl here, you know, you can be a businesswoman or you can be a house property owner. Even in the 1600s, you could do that as a woman if you wanted to. If that was your goal, no one was stopping you. Men were not stopping you from doing that, you know. It's just this whole victim mindset that's the problem. Women trying to make themselves as or pose as victims, and then blaming men for everything. I don't like it, and it's not fair. But this has been going on, and it's still going on. It's like that's the new right way to think, you know. If you don't agree with that, then you're like a misogynist or something. That's how it goes out here these days. It's pretty crazy, but she's pushing this on Pearl.
Permitted that?
What
law permitted that?
Well, there was no law. I mean, there's always been women that were influential in
let's
history.
let's get on to the vote. So what I don't understand is, you know, a part of your message, I've researched you today, and hang on a minute.
Okay.
You know, your big push is that you care about men and you don't think that men are getting enough of a say. But
I care about
hang
women
on,
too.
I haven't
I care
made the
about
point
women
yet.
Just before we get to her point, whatever she's gonna say, this is like, it sounds like she has a problem with her caring about men. Like, why should you care about men? You know, that's the tone I'm getting. Like, your message, you're caring about men. Why do you do that? Like, you shouldn't care about men. Come on, that's not cool. Caring about men is ridiculous. That's what I'm getting from her.
Because of feminism, okay? What I wonder is when you start making calls out like repeal the 19th, women shouldn't be allowed to vote, how is that helping young men? Because these young men have women in their lives, they have mothers, they have sisters, they have teachers, and they turn around, they don't know how to act around women because you're giving them license to be misogynistic.
I wouldn't call it misogynistic. I say be equal. So again,
I
men
think
do
that's
all
what
of them.
feminists are
Well
saying.
then, okay, I'd love for the feminists, please apply for the oil rigs. Please go do the hard jobs in society. They're open, they're hiring, because I don't equate for, I don't think men or women are equal until we do the equal work. So no, listen, go apply to be on the oil rigs, go be a plumber, go be an electrician, go be on the front lines of the military, and then we should have equal rights. But until feminists are willing to do that, I don't believe we should have the freedom without the responsibility.
Okay, but
Wow, that's a good point. Very good point. I can agree on this 100%. And I think this is what we need to talk about more. Women try to play like they're equal to men. They're not. Okay? There's no way women are equal to men. I don't understand why I even have to say this. This is like everyone knows this deep down. But come on. You know? Very fair point. If you want to be equal in everything, you know? That's just how it goes. At the end of the day, women don't even want equality. They want a guy who's stronger than them. You know? They want to marry someone who's better than them, stronger than them. And this, please, you know? It's just showing the point right there. If you want to be equal, do all the hard jobs that men do, that women can't do, you know? Let's keep watching.
I don't think that I'm physically built for that. You might be, but I'm absolutely not. But you said you were a volleyball. You said you were a volleyball player, so you've got more strength than I do. I don't think.
But
that
I don't have more strength. I don't have more strength than
I'm
the
not going to
average
take your
man.
right away.
I don't have